Show, thought leaders, and we talk about the trends that are happening in the world, and we think of life from a mind, body, and spirit perspective, because that's what servant leaders do. So join me. I'm really excited to have you here with me today. How are you doing, and where are you today?
I'm doing great, Mike. Yeah, I'm glad we could finally line this up. I am in good old Alexandria, Virginia. That's where I live. That's the home, the homestead.
Okay, very cool. Well, good. So I'm really excited that you're here with me today on Growing the Next Version of You. It's a leadership development show, and really what we're talking about is how do we learn, how do we change, and how do we grow? And whenever I heard you on the big stage at the Video Marketing World when we met, and the powerful story that you gave, I thought, man, that's a leader if I have ever met one. At least in your own life, and of course for over 500,000 people that follow you. Now, is that only on Instagram?
That's just on YouTube.
So that's just on YouTube.
Collectively, I have about 2 million followers.
Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so we'll get into the speeds and feeds of who you are and all that kind of stuff. But what I like to do at the very beginning of the show is just ask, what are your top 3 tips for success in 2023?
Consistency above all else. I'm such an advocate for that. Whatever you choose to do, stay consistent. Go all in on vertical video. It's not going anywhere. It's only getting more and more adapted. And don't be a perfectionist. Just get started. You can improve over time.
Awesome. Well, I mean, taking your advice. So when I met you 3 or 4 months ago, it was the first time I'd heard about vertical video, honestly. And it takes a little bit of a mind shift as far as how you do it. So it's taken from then until now. This is the first show that I'm recording in vertical.
Hey, look at that.
So it's fitting that you are the guy that brought this to my attention, and now we're doing it. So thanks for that.
Absolutely.
But I'm kind of jumping ahead because you and I had a chance to get together, months ago and talk, but most of the people in my world don't know who you are. So let's go back to when you were young. Did you grow up in Alexandria? Is that where you're from?
No.
Kind of bring me up to last year, and then we'll get into the business side of things too.
Yeah, sure. So I've lived all over the place, both sides of the country. So I was born and raised initially in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's where the first 10 years of my life were. And then we moved to New Jersey for a little while, Jersey Shore, Point Pleasant, New Jersey specifically. So I was there for the next 13 years. That's where I really became more or less myself, my teenage years, early 20s and whatnot. And then I had moved out to California when I believe I was 23. And that's where I really got into my professional career out in California. So I was out in Orange County, California for I guess about 8 years. Met my now business partner, got really situated in video marketing and digital marketing in general. I'd been doing it for a long time before that, but professionally, I just got started in California. Met my wife, or my now wife, in California. Followed her to North Carolina, where we lived for 2 years for her to get her MBA at Duke University. And then about a year and a half ago, we moved to Virginia, Alexandria, where I'm at now, because she got a job offer out here. And fortunately, I'm completely remote by choice, even pre-pandemic. So I can just kind of go anywhere in the world that there's an internet connection. So I just kind of support her, and we float around a little bit. But this is where we're currently at. And I don't know if we're going to stay here forever or not, but that's where we're currently at, and it's been quite the journey.
Very cool. So I've been married probably a little longer than you, but my wife and I met in California as well. I
Oh,
lived in
cool.
Pasadena for about 9 years, and
Love
then I had a AS400 shop out in Newport Beach.
it.
So where in Orange County did you live?
Yeah, firstly in Westminster, and then
Okay.
Huntington Beach. We
Ah,
also lived in Brea for a little bit, Fullerton. Yeah, and then worked in Irvine, but those were the areas that I lived in.
very cool. So did you enjoy your time in California?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how can you not love the weather out there?
Yeah,
It's sunny,
yeah,
75, 80 and sunny every single day year round, basically. I don't miss the traffic.
yep,
You know, doing a 9 to 5 commute on the 405, where you're sitting you're driving 10 miles, and it takes you an hour to an hour and a half each way.
yeah,
I certainly don't miss that, but I made use of that time. I listened to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts because I was in the car for 2 hours every single day.
definitely.
I miss it. I miss a lot of it, and there's also a lot that I don't miss. I mean,
Right.
it's so expensive out there. The cost of living is absolutely absurd. It's
Yep.
basically impossible to buy unless you're rich. It's like you could get a crappy house for like 600,000, 700,000, but like
Right.
that you could just get such a much nicer house anywhere else in the freaking country.
Right.
So, there's pros and cons to everywhere, I think. And overall, I loved it, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't moved to California. So I have to consider that.
Yeah, same with me. I moved there, got my first job out there. When I was in Pasadena, I was the VP of corporate systems for the Mattis Advisory Group of CB Richard Ellis at the time, and I had an AS400 group in Newport Beach, and I had a 9 o'clock Friday meeting, 9 a.m. Friday meeting, and if I didn't leave Pasadena by 5 a.m., I couldn't make it to that meeting at 9 o'clock because that
Terrible.
was about a 45 minute or
Yeah.
45-mile drive through that mess that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
It's
it
crazy.
was, and it wasn't that it was a lot of fun either. To your point, you were sitting on the freeway just waiting for a move ahead. But
Yeah. Stop and go.
it was a beautiful time. We were there without kids and got to go into the mountains all the time and got to go to Santa Barbara and San
Yeah.
Diego and
Yeah.
obviously Disney and all the fun things. So
Mhm.
it's a good place to kind of connect together.
Yeah.
And you said that your professional life started when you were in your teens. Do you consider yourself a digital first kid? I mean, did you grow up with technology pretty much?
So I consider myself the last generation to remember life pre-technology.
Okay.
So I remember life pre having a computer in our house.
Okay.
So I'm 32.
Yeah.
Uh, so I remember dial-up internet coming to be, where you could use the phone or you could use the computer. You couldn't use both. I remember life and like there were cell phones, but they were just crappy, right? Pretty crappy cell phones and whatnot. And some home computers and stuff existed. Obviously, that was around in like the 80s and stuff, but we didn't really have a lot of that. Internet speeds were terrible. It was the days of early AOL, where they'd mail you in the CD discs for
Oh, yeah.
3,000 hours of internet time and all that stuff. So I distinctly remember life pre-internet, and then into my I think I got my first computer when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
And then it was all downhill from there, because I learned how to like download movies illegally and do all kinds of stuff, ruined many home computers with LimeWire. And then I was off to the races from about 10 years old.
Okay. Very cool. All right. So, and so you've lived in multiple places in the country as well. So culturally, you kind of get people from different perspectives. that's probably a benefit for you in the work that you do, so that you can reach different people in different ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, being relatable is a huge thing. You know, you can talk to people everywhere. Like I've lived in the South, so understanding the Southern hospitality goes a long way in big cities too.
sure, definitely. So let's get into now the last year. I mean, in the last one of the last posts that you put out there, you said last year I had like 9,600 followers, and now you have 2 million, and it
Well,
was
yeah, so a little bit different. That's specifically for YouTube. I mean, this
okay.
year in general has been explosive. So I had a good amount of a success last year on TikTok, because I've been on TikTok for 3.5 years at this point. I had
Okay.
so probably like total follower count last year, on this day I had probably 400,000 followers, and so I've gained about 1.6 million followers this year across the board.
So it is exponential, but to your point in your opening salvo with the three things, consistency pays off too, because you've done at least one short every day. It looks like by the numbers that you just posted,
Mhm.
346, is it, shorts?
That's just on YouTube. So I
Ah,
had I across all platforms, and I'm way more active on TikTok. I don't post every single video on YouTube that I post on
okay.
TikTok. I've posted about 1,000 videos this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much your waking hours is producing content and then posting.
Well, no, it's surprisingly easier than you think. I mean, it's like three to five videos per day. Each one of those videos is 30 seconds long. I don't edit every single one of them. I edit a fair amount, but some I can just go on TikTok and just
Just
quickly
do it.
record. Yeah, just do
Right.
it. It's super simple, because there's a million things going on in my head, and I've been doing digital marketing for 18 years, so I
Right.
know a lot of information. And I know, because of the consistency and have posting literally thousands of videos over the last couple of years, I just know what works. So I can get on TikTok real quick and crank a video out in 2 minutes. So it doesn't
Right.
take that much time for me.
Very cool. And then, so what was the aha moment that you got on how to do that, and what is that? For those that don't know what you do, can you explain? Uh, I guess the model or the method, if you will. You did it on stage at Video Marketing World.
Yeah, so we focus primarily on vertical videos, and vertical videos across the board. So and short form vertical videos. So 60-second or less videos shot vertically on your phone, opposite of like a traditional YouTube video, just same for opposite aspect ratio.
Right.
The aha moment for me, I have to give credit where credit's due. Came from an awesome entrepreneur, Rachel Peterson. She's
Okay.
really a um, early adopter of TikTok, way before me, and I was getting interested in TikTok at the time, because Gary Vaynerchuk was shoving it down all of our throats. This is the newest platform. You got to get on this thing, and this was like 4 years ago at this point, maybe even 4.5 years ago. And when I got started 3.5 years ago, I said, "Oh my gosh, I think I might be too late. I might have missed the boat here on TikTok." Here we are today.
Right.
It's never too late, but that's always that mentality there. But I was just dabbling on the platform a little bit. I had no strategy, no rhyme or reason. I would occasionally post some business tips and advice. I would try and jump on a trend, and I regretfully did a couple, tried some simple dances, because I thought that's the only way that you had to be successful. I'm no dancer. I suck at that. But I'm like, I got to figure this
Do
thing
you
out.
still have them posted?
No, I've hidden them. I've hidden a lot of those. Actually, I didn't delete them, so they're still on my account, but they're
Okay.
just privated. So Maybe
I got it.
in the right method, maybe I'll release them sometime. I don't know. But anyway, so I got on the platform pretty early, and I had attended a Rachel Peterson webinar. So she still does a lot of these live webinars, and she, something she said of how she comes up with content strategies really connected and resonated with me, because I have a big long SEO background as well, search engine optimization. And so how she had framed everything was really like and this is super early, of leveraging TikTok as a search engine. People are searching for information, create videos around what people are searching for. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can grasp my head around this. I don't have to dance. I can educate. I can just share all of this stuff. And so as soon as I got out of her webinar, I outlined a content strategy for myself. I think I outlined like 30 video ideas that I could talk about from the services that my agency offers. And I gave myself an ultimatum. I said, I'm going to do a video every single day on one of these topics: educational, only business, hyper focus in. And if I get no traction at all, like no, whatever, maybe this isn't the platform for me. And something crazy happened when you hone in your strategy and you dial in and you go, hyper focused on one thing and stop trying a million different ideas. You gain traction. It works. And it did. It worked. I started to build momentum. I was on the platform for maybe 6 months to that point, and I had like 300 followers. And then over that 30-day period, I had gained like 5,000 or 6,000 followers. So I'm like, there's something here. This is it. This is something that I could wrap my head around. And I've really just never stopped. So the first year on TikTok, I really just used it as a tool to grow my business. Primarily, we were an SEO agency, but I talked about some YouTube stuff and whatnot. And it was so successful that people and business owners started to reach out and say, you've had a lot of success on TikTok for yourself. Can you do this for us? And so there was enough demand for that, where I've now built an agency around the repeatable processes that worked for me. And that's primarily what we do now. We still have an entire SEO agency and SEO arm, but like 70-80% of our clients are in the vertical video space. And so, fast forward to today a little bit, all of those processes have evolved and gotten better and gotten more consistent. And we don't just focus on TikTok anymore, because you never want to put all your eggs in one basket, but all of the other, major platforms: YouTube with YouTube Shorts, Instagram with Instagram Reels, and Facebook with Facebook Reels, and even Pinterest has ups and downs, but Pinterest Idea Pins. They have all completely embraced the same format of videos: short form, vertical videos, 60-second or less. And so we've just taken what's worked for us on TikTok over the last 3.5 years and subtly adapted that for all of these platforms. And that's what we do for all of our clients. We start by outlining content strategies from our repeatable process. We develop really solid vertical video content strategies, and we post them everywhere that's algorithmically pushing these videos right now. And obviously, I'm very lead by example.
Exactly.
I know this stuff works because, I do it for myself.
Exactly. And then at the end of last year, you were at Video Marketing World here in Dallas, and then you were at a bunch of different conferences talking about what you're doing. So in addition to doing it for yourself and doing it for your customers, now you're on a speaking tour, and yet another vehicle for you to get your message out.
Absolutely.
So where were some of the fun places that you went last year?
Yeah. And so public speaking's always been a personal goal of mine. And last year I got my first paid public speaking engagement. So I just love it. But I was out in Dallas, love Dallas, my home away from home. I was out in Nashville, Tennessee, and Las Vegas as well. I had the privilege which is like the second largest trade show in the world for car junkies, aftermarket car parts and stuff. They're like,
Right.
come talk to us about the automotive industry. And I'm like, all right, I guess. But that was awesome. Yeah, crazy, cool experience.
Very cool. So let's get into a little bit more about what you do for your customers from your business perspective. So how would how would somebody engage with you? What's the typical starting point? And then what are the different services that you provide?
Yeah, so the different services that we provide, I'll go there and then we'll outline the whole thing.
Okay.
I do consulting one-on-one with myself. I have a pocket type of ongoing monthly coaching program done through this really cool app called Volley, where you can video messages and voice memos and text and audio recordings and upload files and screenshots and stuff. Really cool. But that's like an accountability program where I help you develop all of your strategies and critique your content, make sure you're actually posting content. And then we have the complete done for you service, where the value prop there is just be the expert that you are, we'll handle the rest. And our process for that is we start with an onboarding call that typically takes about 45 minutes to an hour. Dive into your target buyer persona, all of the demographic information, the emotional needs and desires of the individual, all of the services or products that you offer, the reasons why someone would come to you in the first place for your service. You need value propositions of both your business and you as an individual. All of the questions that people are asking for online, we really deep dive so that we can understand your business and you as well as your vision. We develop a custom content strategy for everybody. This typically looks like 4 or 5 core categories of content. Just to give you a here, and this was an example I think I did with I think I did real estate agents at Video Marketing World, but I like to use the example of a therapist as well. So if you're a therapist, there's a lot of services that you can offer, right? So maybe one category of content is couples counseling. Maybe the second category of content is depression and anxiety. The third category of content is use or substance use. And then the fourth category of content is narcissism, dealing with narcissists. This is a real case study example. And so if those are our 4 categories of content, then we outline 5 to 10 individual videos under each category. Frequently asked questions, trending searches online, using SEO keyword research tools. And so when we have that filled out, there's a huge content strategy for you. You have, at least a month, if not 2 or 3 months worth of content right there. And then we go through this in a systematic approach. And so we edit all of the videos as well. You get coaching. We actually jump on Zoom recordings like this. I have a video production team out in Orange County, California. So we send video production people out to coach them in real time and record all of the content. But for all of our remote clients, basically all you got to do is create the content that we tell you to create, how we create it, put your unique flair in it. And we edit the videos for you, and we'll post them on all of your accounts for you. Systematic approach: video in category A, video in category B, category C, D, etc. And then typically after about a month or 2 of doing this, this lets us find out which category is performing the best. So in this case study example, we found out pretty quickly that narcissism-oriented content is just blowing up online on his account. That information. So we do about 70% narcissism-oriented videos for him. We double down on what works, so that we can drastically increase his followership and his engagement, so that it grows his business. And this is such a, I'm so proud of this dude, because we've been working with him for about 1.5 years, and he everything to a T that we ask him. Never pushes back anything. Just records. He's a content machine. But he's at 180 something thousand followers on TikTok. He's at he's just about to hit 100,000 Instagram followers. He's at 19,000 YouTube subscribers, and we just launched his Facebook page. In fact, if we're friends on Facebook, you might have seen me post about the page. In 2 weeks, he's at 20,000 Facebook followers. 2 freaking weeks.
Wow.
From a completely dead Facebook page. Unbelievable.
And this is all less than 60-second videos?
Yes. Yeah. So on Facebook, we're working right now as a combination of the Facebook Reels, which is the less than 60-second videos, and engaging text posts. So like you see me post a lot of like, would you rather have $1 million or 1 million followers? So we do that as well around this type of content. So we'll post like, agreeable, shareable quotes about narcissism. Like nobody throws a narcissist that's losing control over you, right? And like that's really relatable to people that are watching videos about narcissism. So it gets a ton of engagement, right? And it boosts the engagement of the account. But yeah, the baseline for all of this growth is vertical videos, because they just dominate across the board right now.
Well, very cool. Then you also have a new brand marketing tool called Syllaby. Is that the correct name?
Syllaby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that, and how does that work?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I'm getting into the artificial intelligence game. So I've been in social media for 18 years at this point. And so I've noticed a lot of pain points and problems and obstacles over the years. And I've been working with hundreds of different professionals and businesses at this point in my professional career. And so a lot of the problems that business owners face is not knowing how to get started because they don't know what to create. They don't know how to structure it and how to create it. And they need accountability. Those are, for consistency. Those are the 3 biggest pain points that I've seen. And there's really not a lot of tools that solve all 3 of those. You have to, hire an agency, develop you a content strategy, or spend hours doing, countless research on topics that people are searching for, videos that are working, etc. Come up with scripts for all of those videos so that it's clear and concise, and then some sort of accountability measure. So that's exactly what Syllaby does. So we've incorporated a couple key features. We've incorporated an SEO keyword research tool. So what you can do is you can type in your industry, no matter what industry you're in. If you're a real estate agent, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a digital marketer, you're selling a product, whatever. You type that in. It's going to give you a huge list of questions that people are searching for online. And this is real data pulled from Google. And so from there, so if you've heard about ChatGPT, we've actually incorporated ChatGPT into this tool. So now you can take the text from real search data and you can generate a script that's going to help you generate the entire script that you can read word for word, opening hook and everything. And you can make it specific for your location. So like for real estate agents, for instance, you can create a video on how to know when is the right time to buy a house in Orange County, California, and it'll generate you a script for that. And then you can take that script and add it to your content calendar within the tool as well. So it's going to hold you accountable. You're going to be able to check off on there, okay, I recorded this video today. And it's going to help you stay consistent with all of that. That's our MVP. And then we're incorporating some really cool stuff with like deep fake technology, where you can create an artificial human to actually be in the video for you. So if you, because it's another pain point, right? A lot of professionals be on camera. Okay, I'm addressing that problem as well. I'm making it so that there's no excuse to not be active on social media anymore. I'm cutting all the excuses out. So that should be incorporated in a couple of months, maybe a little earlier than that. But this is going to have realistic voiceover and a realistic human that's going to read that script, and you're going to be able to rapid fire create content. So we're joining the AI bandwagon. It's addressing every problem that I've heard from business owners, and it's going to be really affordable. So the grand vision here, Mike, is we're developing a tool so that you no longer have to hire a digital marketing agency. You can do everything in-house for a very small fraction of the price.
Which opens up a much larger market than you can service with people.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah, and so I teach digital transformation at Dallas Baptist University, and if you'd be interested in being one of our consulted customers for my class next semester, I'd love to have you come and talk about what you're thinking about, and then have the master's students kind of think about it with you, and then make some suggestions. It's actually it's a pretty cool process to go through.
I'd be honored. Yeah, let's keep talking about it.
And then I'm going to check it out. I'd love to check it out. So I did last semester. I did. The classes are always in person and remote because we have a lot of people that work and are traveling, and then sometimes they do it disconnected, right? Because I record everything on Teams. But last semester I used a thing called Loom AI, and it was basically if you were in class with me, you got me. If you were online, you got my AI, but it was me speaking, right? And then all the students would also have their AI on, whether they were in class or out of class. So we kind of got a mixed experience just to kind of test what that would be like. From an educational perspective, they felt that in-person is like at 100%. Video live like this is about 90% because you still get the inflection, you still get the personality, but the AI drops down to 20%. Now this was not, it's not statistically sound. It was just me asking the question and they kind of gave me some numbers, but it still tells you there's a significant loss between a person and an AI as far as what you get out of the interaction. So there may be a tweak to your thing that says, you may want to start out with your AI, but over time, as you get comfortable doing these things, you might want to have your own personal face in your videos because you're going to be able to connect with the people that you want to connect with better.
100%. And I recommend in general, if you can get on camera, get on camera. There's all of these tools that are coming out that are gonna avoid you doing that, but like at the end of the day, focus on you have to there's so many little in our head problems of why people don't want to get on camera, right? Like people will say, nobody wants to see my face, I'm too old to be on camera, whatever. It's all crap, right? It's all stuff in our own head that anybody that would leave you a negative comment is coming from a place of their own personal insecurity.
It's something about them, right? Exactly.
Yeah. And in 99% of the time, it's always username 47 million, faceless channel, never has any videos themselves. It's an online troll, right? Because they're basement dwellers. They're doing nothing with their lives except for make fun of you. Don't let that impact your mental health. You are putting yourself out there. You're doing something. You're doing something with your life. I love the trolls. I encourage the trolls. I want those comments.
They get interaction going like nothing else can.
Totally.
I had a troll on one of my shows. Fortunately, it's not a live show, but they're still trying to bait me. I basically said, "So, why do you think that I want your respect? I really don't care about what you think because I don't know who you are and I don't know what you're about." But so I got a chuckle out of your F the trolls message from last week. It was pretty good. So,
Good.
I talk about leadership from a mind, body, spirit perspective, right? So most of what
Yeah.
we've been talking about is really mind or intellectual because you're a significant intellect, right? I mean, you've been thinking about this and doing it for a while, and I don't say that flippantly. I'm watching you do this and be successful, and enjoying learning from watching that, right? There is a
Thank you.
mindset change that one has to go through as you open yourself up to trolls and as you open yourself up to critique from others because and it's taken a while. I mean, for me, I think 2016 or so is when I started playing with video in a real way. Prior to
Hmm.
that, when I was at Microsoft from 2006 to 2010, and we had Link, which was the precursor to Teams, and so you could
Hmm.
do some video stuff, but it was really in its infancy from that perspective. But it takes a while for you to get yourself open to being open. And from my
Yeah.
perspective, that's
Sure.
more of a spiritual kind of a situation, right? It's like it's something inside you that says, I am who I am. As Popeye said, that's all that I am. I don't think that's necessarily
Yeah.
true, but anyway, you get it, you see what I mean. So how do you
Yeah.
think of this at a level deeper? Because you've got the method, you've got the mechanism, you've got the thought process, but there's more to success than just that. There's something inside of you that
Yeah.
drives you. So where do you go for that, and how do you come to it?
Well, so it's kind of a difficult question to answer, right? And so where my mind initially goes to is I remember, way back, entering senior year of high school, that up until that point, I, cared about what everybody thought of me, because of, social implications and whatnot. But, call it senioritis, call it whatever. I remember going into senior year and just having I just don't give a shit because I don't care about what any of these people think
Right.
about me. I'm doing my own thing. And I think that's really stuck with me ever since. And so I've, I deeply still care that people like me. But I if I know in my gut that what I'm doing is authentic and genuine and helpful, um, I don't care if you have negative feedback. You're entitled to your own feedback, of
Sure.
course, but I just am able to understand if it's baseless, or if it's legitimate
Sure.
feedback. And so, in particular to online trolls, it also comes from an understanding of how these algorithms and how social media
Mhm.
works. These are social media, social platforms. Your How your content does is in direct relation to the amount of engagement that you
Right.
get. And it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative engagement, it's just engagement. And I think too many people focus on it. It has to be positive. It has to be positive. Um, and I was talking about this on stage a little bit, and I've been forcing the egos and forcing the hand of the negative comments because I know and I understand that all engagement is still good
Right.
engagement. It's still engagement, right? And so my mindset shift is in my videos. I know the information that I share is helpful. I know that if somebody, if there's a business owner or an entrepreneur that watches my video, is going to find a useful website that will help their life, or they're going to learn a digital marketing strategy that they haven't thought of before, and they're going to take action on it, and they're going to get more growth because they saw it and they took
Right.
action on it, right? And so the people that leave hateful comments are never who I'm trying to reach
Right.
anyway. And so what I do is I know that there's internet trolls because that's the nature of the internet. I know there's grammar Nazis, grammar police out there. I know that people have egos. and want to call things out online and poke fun at your insecurities and stuff like that. I know all of these things, right? We all know that's the nature of trolls. So I embrace it and I feed it. So I bait their ego is what I like to call. So I will mispronounce words on purpose. I will say controversial statements like this AI tool is better than a real artist. Or I will plant a folder in my browser under a website that I share, like Mr. Beast NUD ... right? So it says like Mr. Beast nude, right? Basically. And things along the lines of that. I will plant like weird stuff in the background of my videos, because what is that going to do? It's going to cause people to call it out, to take their ego and say, I'm right, you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. I want it because I know that the information in my video is going to help more people. So the more engagement that I can get, the more I can bait people to correct me or, say why I'm wrong. I'm going to reach more people that I want to reach. So that's a huge mindset shift for me this year.
Okay.
And a big part of why I've grown, because I'm forcing engagement.
Interesting. So I, with the social topics being what they are, you don't get into super controversial topics though, right? I don't see you going off on political things. I don't see you going off on any of the like celebrity kind of baiting kind of things. It's all really business content. But
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you'd get that many trolls.
Yeah, I mean, AI is a controversial topic right now, so that's about as controversial as I get. The right answer, Mike, or the real answer is I don't give a crap about politics.
It doesn't impact you.
It doesn't impact me whatsoever. So, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. I just don't care one way or the other. And even saying that is a controversial topic, right? But that's my honest truth. I don't talk about it because I don't give a crap about it. I don't want to talk about it, so I focus on what I want to talk about.
Yeah, interesting. So what are the? I detect in your the way that you speak is that you want to impact positively more and more people. Do you have any kind of like a mission statement of what your intent is? What is your why, as Simon Sinek would say? What are you trying to be, and are you there, or are you still growing towards it?
Well, I'm already there, but there's not a definitive number that I have in mind. Basically, social media has changed my life in every single positive way. And I just want to share everything that I've learned along the way that has made a positive impact on my life, so that I can make a positive impact on other people's lives. That's a big part of why all of my content, everything I post online, I'm entirely transparent. I give all of my best stuff away for free. You can take it or leave it. Like, I have paid versions of all of it. You can binge through my thousands of videos and get everything that I'm gonna, that's coordinated in my online courses and stuff. You can get it for free, but I give all of my best information away for free because people take action on it. Right. And that's another secret to social media growth, is just give your best information away for free, because more people are going to save it for later. More people are going to trust you. It's all about know, like, and trust. I just want people to I just want people to have their lives changed like these platforms have changed my life.
Okay.
That's what I care most about, and reaching as many people as I can to do that.
Very cool. I like it. So is there a place that we have not gone that you would like to talk about, something that is of interest to you that we haven't gone to?
Not really. I mean, I love talking about all this stuff. I mean, I love the developments of AI. I can obviously talk about social media and video marketing and digital marketing all
Yeah.
day, every facet of it. I just talk. I preach this stuff over and over again. I practice what I preach. If you are watching this, you're listening to this, whatever, and you're interested in gaining a social media following to make life-changing money, there's no shortcuts, there's no hacks. Just put in the work and do it consistently over and over and over again and figure it out. I've been doing this for 18 years straight because I'm passionate about it. I'm obsessed with it, borderline addicted to it. It's all I want to do. It's all I care about. But it's it's consistency. You just got to be able to put in that work and that hard work and stick with it and be able to see the long-term vision in things. That's another thing that I've maybe differentiates me from a lot of other people is I can see long-term vision, and I can I've my now it's okay to play that long game. This is some, I'll kind of end on this story to just go back a little bit about my personal story, but I don't have a college degree. My highest level of education is high school. I took an untraditional path in life to success. I was an unpaid intern at a video marketing agency. I saw the long-term vision of it. This was 9 years ago. This is what I was interested in. I stuck with it for 9 years straight. Went from an unpaid intern to a paid intern to a part-time employee to a full-time employee, which led me to being head of digital marketing at several other businesses, drug and alcohol treatment centers. And then I started my own digital marketing agency with my boss from the internship. He's my business partner.
Nice.
Long-term vision, right? And now, last year was the best year of my life financially. It's starting to pay off, but I still feel like I'm just getting started because I can still see into the future of long-term goals. So don't get impatient with whatever you're working towards. Just stay consistent and head in that direction, and you can accomplish anything that you want in life.
Yeah. Awesome. That was a great way to end our time together today. I again thank you very much for sticking with me on all these scheduling things as we were trying to figure out how to get together. And I'm super excited that you had the time to get together today. I look forward to checking out some of the things that you're doing with Syllaby and your other things as well. And I'll keep in touch with you. Look forward to the next time we have a chance to chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Peace out.